Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm Kevin Smith. And, and this is my cat, who apparently is going to join us. Oops. Oh, thanks. It's okay. Is it Angelica?
Yes, it is, Angelica.
Good morning. Um, it may be that we're the only ones in here at the moment, so I thought we could just go ahead and get started. And if you, I can ramble on for days about ag communication, but I think I'd rather get to know a little bit about you and what you're interested in knowing. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh, yeah. So I am currently going to, I'm studying at Vincennes right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not really sure. I thought ag communications is something that I'm kind of interested in. I'm just interested in the agriculture field. So I kind of just
Sure.
narrowed it down, I guess. So I'm not really like familiar with like the ag communications. I just thought that was the right direction I kind of wanted to go to.
Right.
So
So you kind of have an idea. You want to get a sense of, well, what is this thing, and is it for me?
yeah,
Okay,
correct.
that's
Yeah.
fair. That's a good one. Okay. Um, so um, if you thought of like a dream job or a dream career, do you know what that might look like, or is that asking a lot? I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just I don't know. I'm a dream job is staying close to home. I know that
Mhm.
I don't want to. I'm a homebody.
Okay. So the dream job question I know puts people on the spot, and so I don't necessarily expect an answer. But let me go ahead and I'll just kind of speak generally about agricultural communication. So I like to say that a communication degree, like a general communication degree or an agricultural communication degree, or even an English degree, I kind of talk about those as being the Swiss Army knife, Swiss Army knives of degrees. Um, you learn a lot about critical thinking and you're very adaptable and flexible in a lot of different situations. A way of thinking of it almost visually is to say your breadth of knowledge is pretty wide. It may not necessarily go very deep in a lot of areas, but you can go and find yourself in a lot of different positions professionally and feel like, yeah, okay, I can make that work. I feel it, you can adapt to that. Whereas if you go into something very particular, let's say like biological engineering, your field of knowledge is much more narrow. It goes really deep, but you also are less comfortable in some of these other set contexts once you get
Right.
put in there. If you're not in your element in engineering, you're going to have, you may struggle. And so that's kind of, if you find yourself at least temperamentally being the kind of person who likes to learn a lot about different things um, all of the time, and it's not like you're you know an ephemeral fly where you just like you can't focus for a minute. It's just that you have a curiosity and you like to learn a lot about different things. This is really important. Okay, now I want to move on to the next thing. That's kind of a temperament that goes with what our, I would say that goes with our major. So what is it about agricultural communication specifically? What do people do with that degree? They do a lot of different things, as you might expect. So there are people who are going to go and work for something along the lines of what we call a full service communications firm, like a Charleston Orwig or um, something like that. They will be part of a large group, and those they will be doing either like strategic communication or graphic design or statistical analysis, crisis communication, and combinations of all that. They'll be working for a large company that has several clients. Um, those kinds of jobs are usually the ones that you're going to find, as you might expect, located in larger cities. So like Milwaukee, Chicago, St. Louis are some of the ones where those are. Others of our graduates work directly for agricultural companies, working in marketing, media, or public relations or something like that. Still others will go into career fields for nonprofits. So they might work for a commodity organization like the Indiana Soybean Alliance, okay, where they're promoting or
Mm-hmm.
grants and all kinds of other activities and things of that nature. Still others go into things like sales or marketing, working directly, like selling seed. That's kind of what they wanted to do. And still others go into a variety of other kinds of fields. We have some of our graduates who have become extension educators, and that sort of thing. They go on to get their master's afterwards, and then they start working for extension. And so there's a quite a bit of a mix. And as I kind of hinted with the one, a lot of it is what you wind up doing is determined a lot by temperament, of course, and what looks good to you, but also by your willingness to move around. If you want to go back to, your hometown, obviously the choices may be more limited than if you're willing to relocate somewhere else. But there are opportunities, to work in small communities, but they're not unlimited, as you already probably
Right.
know. One of our graduates recently, that her family has a farm, and one of the things that they're doing is trying to grow the agritourism business on their farm, because they have like
Is
they have a maple syrup operation. And
yeah.
so one of the things that she wanted to do was kind of go back to the family farm and put together some marketing, social media to promote that aspect of their business.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, then we have COVID, which is kind of putting a damper on a lot of things. But does that give you a good sense of what kinds of things
Yeah, I think it
that we
does.
do?
Mm-hmm.
And so the actual jobs are going to be things like marketing, public relations, media relations, crisis communication, digital analysis. You're going to be, you might be going into journalism as well. Um, um, a lot of the skills overlap. One of the things that we emphasize is science communication and telling a good story, not just presenting the facts, because the facts, as facts, people can hear the same facts, and as you already know, they don't hear the same thing. It's the story. How do we interpret those facts, and why that matters? Um, in addition to the courses, and if you want, I can share what those courses are. But basically, what separates agricultural communication from, say, any other kind of communication is our emphasis on the science. So, for example, the requirements that an agricultural education major has are exactly the same as any other student in the College of Agriculture. What that translates into, well, with one exception, we have a slightly lower math requirement. Okay. So what that translates into is our students have to take the same 8 credits of biological sciences. So biology or botany, they have to take the same 6 credits of general chemistry, chemistry 1 and 2. And what the college really wants is for you to do labs, because they want you to know how to be able to do that. In math, we require math 158, which is pre-calculus. And the rest of the college requires math 160, which is applied calculus. We accept higher math for our minimum requirement, but for our students, they don't require the same. Every student in the college also has to take an elementary statistics course. Every student in our college also has to take additional math and science courses, and some humanities and social science courses, including an economics course. So those are the core requirements for the college. For the major, we require 12 credits of our communication core. So those are basic principal communication courses that we require all of our students to take. I can give you numbers, but that probably would just be an alphabet soup at this point. We also require 4 courses that are specifically agricultural communication. And there's a first year course. We try to tier those so that it's one each year, but obviously for transfers, and we have quite a few of those, not just from outside of Purdue, but people coming from other majors within Purdue going, you know what, I really want to do this instead. So that's pretty typical. So you won't be alone in that regard. But the 4 courses that we have in our major, there's an intro course, and then there are the 3 courses that follow are all really hands-on, trying to give you practical experience. So the second year course is called Digital Storytelling. That's a course that I teach. And so the idea is that you learn how to produce videos and how to be able to look at different sides of storytelling in order to, and different platforms, media, in order to tell your stories effectively. The third year course is also a course that I teach. It's feature writing and production. And what the students are doing in that class is they're producing a magazine called Destination Purdue, which is used in our recruiting. So our students find all the stories, they write all the stories, they shoot all the photos, they do the initial design. So it's a real thing. And then in the 4th year, the capstone course, you will, students write articles for Indiana Prairie Farmer, the publication. And they have also done marketing projects. So last year, they came up with a marketing plan for a dairy farmer who wanted to sell her milk to artisan or craft cheesemakers because she had a special way that she was raising her milk and knew it would be desirable for those kinds of people, but she wanted to expand her customer base. So she got a marketing plan from this group. So those are the COM and the AgCom courses. In addition to that, we ask you to take another 14 credits of COM or AgCom selectives. What that basically boils down to is you can take another 14 credits in COM courses. And we don't specifically say they have to be these courses. They just usually have to be a certain level or above. That gives you some freedom to kind of pursue what it is that interests you more about COM. So if you're more on the journalism side, you might take more journalistic type courses. If you're more on the public relations side or marketing side, you might take courses that are more in tune with that. There are also writing courses that you can take. And then the part that puts the ag and ag communication is our students are required to take 21 credits in agriculture courses. They can be just about any courses in ag, from agronomy to ag systems management, horticulture, biochemistry, and on and on and on. What I can also say for our students is we require 21 credits in agriculture, but what that can often be, if you happen to have a particular interest in a field of agriculture, you can get a minor in that field. And I say you get it for free, and I put it in quotes. You're still taking those courses, but a minor in the College of Agriculture is typically 15 to 18 credits. And if you take your 15 credits of ag, take your 15 credits to get your ag minor, like in say 18 credits for animal sciences, you get that minor, but you don't have to add any time to your degree because you're getting 18, you're getting that for free because you don't have to add more classes. You get the 18 classes can be your animal sciences minor, plus you take another course, to get your 21, if that makes sense. And if you don't want, if you just like agriculture in general, which the majority of our students do, you can just kind of pick and choose and figure out which, is your interest or field of study. So that's the very long-winded explanation from me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that helpful at all?
Yeah, I find that really helpful. Yeah, definitely.
So what is your, you said that you're interested in agriculture. What sort of, what's your background?
Well, I'm from Lawrence County,
Hmm.
and I live, I grew up on a small little hobby farm, I guess, where we just raise cows just to eat. And then I got interested in chickens, so I started like a little business kind of, I guess, and I
Hmm.
sold t-shirts and stuff like with that. So that's kind of like what I like to do and how I want to get kind of with the ag industry program, I guess.
Hmm. And did you ever do 4-H or FFA when you were in school?
I did. I didn't do 4-H, but I did FFA, and I was really involved with that. Um, I was in there for all 4 years, and I was like officers too. So
Okay.
um, I really
Not
liked
not that
FFA.
not that we require any of that, obviously, but it's
Right.
something that you would have in common with some of our other students.
Hmm.
Your story is very similar to other folks who are in our program. Um, one moment, please. Sorry about that. Um, where was it? Oh, yeah. So there are a number of students who have a kind of a similar background and story, and there are other kinds of, it could be too that there are other majors that are more suited to what you want to do. Within our own department, we also have agricultural education, and
Hmm.
I don't know if you know much about that. I can give you a little bit of a background on what that is, and I can also, if you would rather talk to somebody who's an expert in ag education, I can refer you to that person too.
Okay. I
Are,
also thought about doing ag education too. I'm just really scoping about out the all everything in ag.
yeah,
So that
and and and
so I
and
have an idea.
and please do that because I think every one of us as advisors, we're not so much interested in trying to like get you to join our program as much as we are to help you find what's the best fit for you.
Hmm.
That's kind of why I was asking a little bit about the dream job before, because sometimes people describe stuff and I go, actually, that sounds a little bit like that, or
Hmm.
that works, that kind of thing. Um, would it be helpful to you if I shared or sent to you other information about the program, like the courses that we take? We have basic flyers that are but like talk about jobs and that
Hmm.
sort of thing. I can share those with you if you would like.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have an email address where you would like me to send it?
Yes, I do. So Angelica Gotzi,
Uh,
just look
uh,
at my name.
that you have on there. Is it with two C's on Angelica?
Yes, it is. My parents didn't know how to spell my name, so they
Okay.
put two C's in there. And then it's just my name, Angelica Gotzi at gmail.com.
If you can hang on one sec, I'm going to go ahead and email something to you now just to make sure that it works. And then that way I don't have to go, oh no, I lost your contact information. So one sec. So I'm going to attach these files. Do you have other questions or thoughts or concerns about the program or about the college or Purdue in general?
How many students are in the ag communications
So
at Purdue?
that's a great question. We're a really small program, top to bottom, freshman to senior. At any given time, we have between 60 and 70 students. And that may sound like a lot, but when you think of it in terms of a
Right.
university like Purdue, that's actually quite small. Um, Consequently, too, we're also small in terms of faculty and instructors and that sort of thing. Um, Agriculture communication, like agricultural education, is, as you might expect, um, a an interdisciplinary program. What that means is we have a lot of stuff that goes on in ag, but we have a lot of stuff that goes on in the Brian Lamb School of Communication. Like you're taking communication courses, and those are obviously not in ag. They're in the Brian Lamb School. By the same measure, if you're in ag education, I said that was similar. You're taking a lot of ag courses, but you're also taking College of Education courses as part of your plan of study.
Right.
And so what we have in our program in terms of like the teaching faculty and staff is we have 2 full-time faculty, Dr. Mark Tucker, who's our program coordinator. And he teaches the first year seminar and a couple of other courses. You have Dr. Linda Pfeiffer, or I should say, Dr. Linda Pfeiffer. She's our other faculty member. She teaches a few courses. Her specialization is in science communication, effective science communication, communicating science to the public. You have Beth Forbes, who's a continuing lecturer. She is also the director of science communication for our College of Agriculture. And so one of the things that she does, she teaches a couple of courses in our program, of course. ASEC 101, and then a grad level course she co-teaches with Dr. Tucker, and also directs our Issues 360, is part of our Issues 360 program, which is issues engagement. It's not a course, at least at this point. It's like a student organization, and so it's a year-long commitment, and students go do projects and go on a retreat and really learn about how to engage people on issues. And what that means is you're not trying to win an argument, but like, how do you have a conversation, which is a lost art form, obviously. And then, of course, the 4th person is me, and I'm one of the advisors along with Dr. Tucker. I usually am the student advisor for new students and first and second years. And Dr. Tucker typically takes over for 3rd and 4th year students and is more in the transition of advising students about postgraduate careers and that sort of thing. As I mentioned before, I also teach classes. I teach the digital storytelling, the video course, and the feature writing course. That was a much more long-winded answer to your question, but
It was spot on though, so thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I just sent a couple of files to you in email that give you an overview of the program. And some of that too, I'm going to put it in the chat window. This is just our website, and it has some information that you might find helpful.
Okay, I just got the email, so.
Then I sent it to the right place. What else? Anything else on your mind?
I can't think of any right now.
Okay. Well, I sent you an email, so you have my contact information. I won't make you sit and talk to me all day, even though, in the age of COVID, we're all starved for social interaction. But if you, I'd like to consider this the beginning of the conversation rather than the end, which means if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you are like me and you're thinking about something like 3 days from now when you're driving somewhere, go ahead and send me an email. It's not a bother. It's my job, and I like my job. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and I'll do my best to help you and find an answer to the question if I don't know it. Is that fair?
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay. I know are you going to be visiting with others today?
I think I'm doing the virtual field trip, and I think we have a thing at 11 maybe.
Right. Oh, are you on Central Time Zone?
I'm on Eastern.
You are on the Eastern. Okay. I know up in the region they're on Central, and I think down in the tip on Evansville they're also Central. But anyway, I also know that there's something, this whole transfer, there's like something at noon as well, if I recall correctly.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'll see you later.
Absolutely. And again, let me know if you have any questions about anything.
Will do. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day and good luck.